All right, now I want to look a little bit more at what I did with that selection, and we're going to look at modifying our selection. Okay, so we have two layers here. If I go to the move tool, see we've got a very clean rocket here. Um, I want to show you something. Let's do something new. Up here, you can choose layer, new, layer. However, in this case, I want to get you used to using either hotkeys or the options in the upper right-hand corner of the layer palette. Again, if you don't see your layers, that is Window, Layers. All right, so we're going to go to these horizontal lines, and you can choose New Layer, or you can do Shift, Command, and N. Let's call this layer blue. Calling it blue because I've got a dark blue here and a very light blue here. This is my foreground color. This is my background color. If you click on that, you can choose a different color, like so. I don't care if you scream at me with an exclamation point. I want this blue. Okay. Having said that, if I hit the key of Command and Delete, I get the background color. If I hit the keys of Option and Delete, I get the foreground color. So that's Command and Delete is background color. Option and Delete is the foreground color. Now you notice our layers are stacked. Okay, we have layer 1 at the bottom. Rocket is floating above that, and blue is floating above that. I'm going to drag blue below rocket, and then I'm going to cough. Sorry, I've got a cold coming out. All right, so now blue is sitting below rocket. Think of this like we're looking down into a box. Rocket is on top, blue is under rocket, and layer 1 is below that. I'm going to go to the move tool, which I'm already on, but I want to show you how you get there. It's the first tool in the upper left hand corner. I'm going to click on rocket and move rocket around. And the reason why I gave them this background color, I want you to see when we zoom in, hitting Command plus, notice how pixelated and jagged he is. Part of that is because we're working in 72 DPIs. The other is the way we selected him. So I'm going to hit Command minus. Another powerful tool that you're going to find is the history palette. Notice there's an arrow here saying you are here, but we can go back in time to when you were here. This is handy if you feel you've made some mistakes or you just want to go back and try things a little bit different, kind of like the movie Endgame. All right, so if you don't see the history palette like this, you can go Window, History, and that will bring up your history palette. See, the last thing I had done was moved rocket and I adjusted the layer. Before that, I filled it with a color. You get back by clicking on these options. I'm going to go back in this case to where I had got my magic wand selecting the whole background. All right, so I had the whole background selected. This isn't super perfect here. Here's how I can combine tools. I'm going to go to the polygon lasso tool. You might not have had this issue. And I'm going to hold down the option key and I'm going to get a little bit of this gun back in. This is where it's powerful to combine the tools, right? So just want to get a little bit more of his gun. I'm sure there's more I have to get, but I'm just giving you the concepts here. I'm going to zoom out a bit, see what I got. There's my selection. Now, what I want to do is soften the edge on rocket. So the first thing I need to do is get the selection on rocket, not the background. So remember that select inverse or shift command and I. Okay, and we're going to use one of my favorite options. Select modify feather. Select modify feather. What that's going to do is give you a softer edge. Right now somebody had this set at 200 pixels. That would give us an extremely soft edge. I just want to feather this at maybe 2 pixels. Okay, once I feather that at 2 pixels, I hit Command J. And now what we're going to do is go to the move tool and we're going to drag rocket into our comp, which has just a space background at the moment. If you click on the tab, you can see there's our comp. Here's our rocket. Let's first name this layer. Double click on the word layer 2, and I'm going to call it rocket. And then I click off, and I could do window, arrange, float all in windows to get them side by side, but this time I'm going to show you another way. I'm just going to click and drag rocket out like this. I want to see the rocket layer here, and drag rocket into our canvas. Now you see he's got a softer edge, a slight white glow, but we're going to be okay with that for now. Now, to see again how feathering works, I could go back to my rocket image, the original rocket image. I'm going to delete our new rocket by going to the trash can. Yes, delete rocket. I can go back to layer 1. I'm going to hold down the rectangular marquee tool, it's the top tool on the right, go to the elliptical marquee tool, and if I were to click and drag a circle around rocket, and I go select, modify feather, this time I choose something like 45, and I say OK, and I hit Command J. I go to the move tool and I drag this layer over. Look at that edge, right? It's like he's got a halo. It's like the ghost of rocket, but that's not what we want. Okay, so that is modifying our selection and refining it, and now we're really comping. We've got a background, we've got a figure. We are well on our way. Great job.